Hi everyone, I'm Sana. Today we'll get to learn about the overview of Cloud PubSub. So now let's understand what is this PubSub. PubSub is nothing but publisher subscriber, where a publisher will publish a message, that is send a message, and the subscriber would receive that message. The main purpose of this Cloud PubSub is to have a messaging service to handle events or to notify events. So here the Cloud PubSub is asynchronous messaging service. That means that when a publisher is sending a message, the message would stay there, uh, even if the subscriber is not active at that time. We understand asynchronous as not even if the subscriber is not available at that moment, but the but the event would be waiting for the publisher to view or uh, proceed with that task. So here, for example, like when we are when I want to make a call, and I want that call to happen in a way where I can talk to the person on the other end, then the person need to pick up my phone, like pick up my call, and then we need to talk, and only then I could say that the task of talking to that person was successful, and it was synchronous, like I called and it was received at the other end, and so the other person was necessary to be available to pick up my phone and talk to me. Then it was so we understand that was a synchronous call. And asynchronous is when I text a person and then the message is waiting to be read by the other person at its free time. So suppose there are people, like two people want to collaborate on a work, but they are located in different time zones. Suppose one is in US and other is in India. So one would
Sana, your voice is breaking.
no, okay. Uh, am I clear now to others? Hello?
Yes, Sana.
Okay. So suppose there are two people who want to work on a task, and but they are located in two different locations. One is in US and the other is in India, suppose, and during one's working hours, the task gets started, and then once it's like some kind of review is needed, and it is sent to the other person, that event is like waiting for the other person to receive it, and during the other person's working hours, he can uh, you proceed with that, whatever the message was received or whatever the task was needed to be done. So it is asynchronous. So Cloud PubSub works in the similar fashion. So the publisher would publish a message, and the subscriber would take that message uh, whenever it is active. Okay. So suppose here, if we are handling a large amount of data, like for analysis, and suppose we have a development which is event driven. So here what we understand by event driven means, like there are multiple events in a task. It like one like subtask is happening, and there's another task that is happening. Like it is not a one way, like it's not a one process task, is a multi-process task. Okay, so this is what is event driven. So microservices here, which means is like the smaller task would be called as microservices. Like each task is giving you a service. So if you have such a project, if you have such an application where it is going to be event driven, and it's a microservices, like you have in a project, in this application you have smaller tasks which are giving you certain services, then we think of using this Cloud PubSub. Okay, so and as I said, PubSub is an asynchronous messaging service. So it's real time. Like if you send the message, it is gonna stay there, and and this Cloud PubSub has 7 days of keeping that message criteria, or if if something goes wrong and we want if the message couldn't be received, but it would stay there for 7 days, which we would look into later. So yeah, so now let's just see what is Cloud PubSub, what it says, the definition. So PubSub is an asynchronous messaging service that we understood, and that produce events from services that process events. Like as I explained you guys that there would be multiple, suppose if you take an example of placing an order, where a customer would place an order, and then the order would be taken up by that order management service, and then what it would do is it would send a notification to the the packaging service, right? So the packaging service, after its processing it's done, would send a notification to shipping service. Okay, so the shipping service is gonna do its job and then notify to the order management, and also notify to the user, as the customer, I mean, that it's been done. So this is what, these are events, like smaller events in a process. And SubPub offers durable message storage. So as I said, it's gonna keep that message for a particular time period, so that it's even if it wasn't read at that time, or something happened which was not expected, so it's gonna be there. So that's why it said that it is reliable. PubSub is a reliable service where you would know that nothing would go wrong with the message that was supposed to be there. It would stay, and yeah. And as I said, it is a real-time message delivery with high availability and consistent performance at scale. So even if there are here we can say that it has really good performance. Like there we could handle millions of messages at a single time. So we are sure that it's gonna perform really well, and the availability would be quite good. So we don't have to worry about something getting mishandled. And PubSub servers run in all Google Cloud regions around the world. So it is already there around the world, and we know that some people are in different time zones, or wherever in any part of the world, any message that we wanted to publish would definitely be received by the subscription, and we don't have to worry, there won't be any chance that something would be lost or something would not work fine. So here, as I was saying, as we took an example of placing an order, so the customer, so this is how the process works for when you place an order. You place an order, and the order management system would send a notification, send a message to the packaging service that okay, this is the order, and start the process. And the process is like the packaging would complete, and then after its processing is given, it's further given to the shipping service. Okay, so here when it's ready, then it will send a notification. So this notification is needed at each event, at each point. Like when the packaging completed its event, it sent a notification that the customer needs to be notified that your package has been ready. it's ready. Then when the shipping was completed, the shipping part was done, shipping started. So here the notification is sent that that your order got shipped. So it is also notified to the order management. So also, so then it is also notified to the customer that your order processing is complete, and things like that. So here you see that there are, like, this is a tedious job. Like if you are a developer who's handling this, like handling the, like, it is, you're considering this as a complete one application where you are sending the message to the packaging service, then it goes to the notification, also it also goes to the shipping, it also notifies to the notification, it also goes to the order management. So it's a very tedious job, where you are where there a developer needs to handle this very well tested, very well, that if what if this fails, or what if this fails, what is gonna happen next, and things. There are various scenarios that a developer needs to keep in mind and handle. So suppose in the next scenario we see that this packaging system failed for some part. So there was no, like, once the order came and it was notified for the packaging, but for some reason it failed. There was no way where it could retry. There was no way there is no way where it could tell that start the process again and do the packaging and move forward, like then this then there is the flaw over here. Okay, so like it becomes, like, it can be done, like the developer can handle this, but it is a tedious job, you see, handling various scenarios where the failing is happening. So suppose next, if you see that something new is introduced. So if suppose that the developer has this, okay, suppose, and then next, if we see that a new thing has been introduced in this application. Suppose we want a monitoring to happen, that the packaging is well, the shipping is well, the notification is going well, this, so that everything is monitored. So there is a new to be integrated existing model, and then check whether it is working well for the packaging, for the shipping, and for all the notification, for the order management. Like it's going to be a very, like, it's going to be very tedious job for development, and it is also going to be difficult for testing, whether in integrating this does this part or the other. So okay, so here you are, like, understanding what the problems, like, could we we would face. So suppose this is where a new part is has to be integrated with the existing. Not this. Let's consider another example where we would be like a scaling place. We want packaging to be at 3 different locations to and that then it's like it's now this has expanded. Okay, excuse me. So again, this is a part where so where it's tedious again, like handling whether this scaling had gone well or not. So this part gets introduced, which is a load balancer, which sees, like how it is handling this service. Okay, so this was one scenario.
Sana, your voice is breaking.
Next, we want to try to understand. Oh, sorry. Am I clear now?
Yeah, now
Am
again it's breaking.
Voice?
It's breaking again, Sana.
Okay, thank you. Okay, okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Sana.
Okay. So as I was saying, so here understand why Cloud PubSub is going to help.
Can anyone hear anything?
I can't hear anything.
Okay. Sana? Sana, we can't hear you.
I'll receive the call this time. Okay. Here we took an example of like the customer placing an order, and then here we see that the notification like is sent to the packaging service, and then the packaging service would begin its processing, and it will send it the shipping, and here it also sends it to the notification, which also needs to notify the order management and the user and the customer that the order processing has begun. So here we see that it is all notification going from here and there, and at different events, sub events. So if we see that one service fails, it would be difficult for the developer to there is for handling a situation where there is no retry happening. There is no retry happening for the packaging service to receive that order again, and then so that it processes. Okay, so this is one problem over here, and the other problem is that if we introduced a monitoring system here to make sure that the working goes on well, that the packaging service is going well, the shipping is going well, the notification is going well, but integrating this new service inside an existing service is quite a tedious job for the developer, because along with development, the testing would also be a tedious job, where the developer is testing each and every microservices with the new integrated part. Okay, so this is the next issue, and the next other issue is like if we try to this it's scalable or not. So here we would increase the suppose the shipping service, the packaging services in different locations, and then we would require a load balancer here. Okay, and then this is also a tedious job for something getting expanded in an existing application. It is tedious for the developer. And next we see that, as I said, PubSub is a fully managed real-time messaging service that, allows you to send and receive messages between independent applications. So once an event is successfully published as a message, it becomes the job of the service to ensure that all the systems that need to react to this get it. Okay, so once the publisher is publishing a message, then it is the job of the subscriber to there is a message handler in there which makes sure that it is received by the subscriber. Okay, so the idea behind asynchronous integrations is to react to events responded as messages. So earlier we saw that there was a lot of coding needed and testing needed, but here all we need to is to configure the subscribers so that they receive the messages that inform about the events that has processed. So as I said in our example, messages really merely represent events happening in the real world, like order received, package shipped, etc. So here with Cloud PubSub, okay, so here if we are introducing Cloud PubSub here, then we would see that after the order is placed by the customer, the order management would keep a message at the PubSub, and it would be rightly received by the packaging service. Then after its processing is done, it would send a message that the packaging is complete. Then it would be received by the shipping service that okay, the shipping process needs to begin. Then once that is, the label is created and the shipping begins, it sends a notification that okay, the customer needs to be notified that the shipping has begun and things like that. So this is how PubSub is gonna help us resolve the issues. Okay, so as I was saying, by using Cloud PubSub, we have solved a lot of problems that we had in the earlier architecture, right? The scalable issues and introducing new service which needs to be integrated to the existing model. So these are the issues that are getting resolved in Cloud PubSub. So we made each piece simpler, correct? It needs to only emit an event without worrying. Like it only needs to send a message like without worrying whether the receiver would receive it or not, or the receiver need not worry, like, how it got there. It's just that the message was there and it was received by the correct person, correct subscriber. It is more scalable. We saw that, even if we introduced new packaging services there, it's gonna be handled in the PubSub. It would reduce dependencies, correct? So, as each microservice is working independently, just sending a message, receiving a message, there is no dependencies with other services. So it is like more reliable and less chances of any failure or anything of that sort. And services can change and don't need to know about each other's changes. Like if the packaging services had some modification, if it is adding more feature to itself, then the shipping need not know about it. And if shipping is having something additional features adding to it, the other microservices need not know about it. All that need to be made sure that the that the subscription part is going proper, like where the correct subscribers need to be associated with that message. Suppose if I'm a person who is sending a message and I want only 2 people from my group, from my team to receive that message, I should make sure that they are subscribed to my message. Okay, so only like it's like creating in the Telegram group, I'm adding my appropriate team members in that, and I'm sending a message. It is received. It is made sure that always my team is going to read that message. It will not be publicly displayed to other teams or any other applications there. So it is going to behave in the cloud PubSub is going to behave in the same way. It goes to the correct subscribers always. Like it is easier to introduce new services. Okay, as I said, need to make sure it subscribes to messages like for the existing service. Like if you are introducing something new, we just need to, like, if a new person is getting added to my group, that I just need to make sure that I'm just adding the correct number to my group, and that person, the new person, will also read the messages that I send in my group. Okay, so it is the same way. So the architecture with the Cloud PubSub has built-in resilience. So resilience here means, the ability to change, adapt, to change in a way where if it's getting scalable, if it is gonna scale up high, it is working well. If there are more number of messages coming up, 1 million messages coming up, but still the message centers receives properly to the subscribers, like, okay. So if any service breaks down, the PubSub would store that messages for 7 days or until the service comes back. So there won't be a loss of messages or anything like that. And PubSub is fully managed service. You don't have to worry about being, as I said, any point of failure happening. And it's scalable, resilient, and can handle millions of messages simultaneously. So we don't have to worry about any loss of messages. It's always handle. What are we seeing in this? Like the PubSub is always going to be between publisher and subscriber. Okay. So the important thing here is the topic where the messages are be sent. So all the messages will remain in the topic. Okay, and the subscription part is where all the subscribers need to be configured. Okay, and once the subscriber has read the message or received the message, it will be acknowledged that it has been like read or notified, things like that, and it won't be sent again. So here the topic part is the message storage is the one that makes sure that the messages are stored properly and then displayed to the subscribers. Okay, so next we'll see how many types of publisher subscribers can we see. So here we see that there could be one to many. There could be one publisher and the subscribers could be many. Okay, like the word for that is called fan out. There could be many to one. There could be many publishers. Okay, and the receiver would be just one subscriber. So, and that is called fan in. And there is many to many, where there are multiple publishers and there are multiple subscribers. Okay. So next we will see. So next we will see that how it would look. How many to one would look like. Like if there are many publishers, what they would do. Like they would have they would be separated with different topics and different subscription levels, and then the subscriptions would be made configured by the subscriber. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so this is many to one configuration that we see, and here we see that there is just one publisher and the subscriber are two. So it would have one topic where the messages would be sent. It's just need to be distributed to two different subscription panels where it would be received by the subscriber. Okay. Next is this is the diagram for the example that we were looking into, like the order service. So if you see how it would look like in a PubSub. So there is clouds. So in that order service, we would make sure that there is a order topic. Okay, and then for packaging service, there would be packaging topic. And there is a shipping service, and which would create a shipping topic. Any messages that needs to be sent by each one of these would be stored in these topics. Okay, and then it would be pulled or pushed. There are like two things in this, where the message is either pushed or it is either pulled by the subscriber or pushed by the publisher. Okay, so here it would be subscription by received to be received by the packaging. So this is the subscriber packaging, and here the notification for the notification, because once you place an order, of course the packaging would get the message and it would start the packaging process, but it also needs to be, the notification center also need to be involved, because it is supposed to send that status to the customer, right? So there would be this also would be involved in each microservice. See, the subscriber notification is in each microservice, so that they record the notification, it is sent to the customer. We need to inform the customer about each process that is getting completed. Okay, we are starting with this. Okay, now this has completed, and the updates. Okay, so as you see, there is a subscription by shipping, subscription for notification, again subscription for packaging, and this notification. Okay, any questions so far?
So cloud, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So Cloud PubSub act as a messenger between all these services, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's the only basic purpose of using this Cloud PubSub.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like one event got over, it sends a message for the other event to start.
Yeah, it will like give and take messages from here and there. So every time whatever service takes place, it will send and receive message from that service, and it will give it back to either the user or the developer, right?
Here the developer is not involved. Here the services are involved here, like the packaging service. So that is getting involved in that process, like packaging service, notification service. Yeah.
So each time, like whatever like message give and take, it will happen between packaging service and the subscription, like between input and output kind of thing.
Yeah, right, correct.
So here we can take the Amazon example. When we order in the Amazon, we will get these notifications, no?
it will. That's how it works. Like one job is created. Like once we, as a customer, we place the order, and further how the process is working is like the order management would send a notification that the order has been placed. So start its process by packaging that product. Once the packaging service would do its job, it would notify that shipping to take this package and start the shipping, create the label, and and that once that processing is done, the shipping would say that the shipment, your order is shipped, right? And then once that order gets shipped, it is also like each thing is getting also notified to the customer. Not the every detail, but the basic that the customer needs to know. And then when the shipping is would be delivered, the delivery message is also not given to the customer. Yeah. So here the customer is not involved in except with the notification, but the other subscribers are the shipping service and the packaging. They are like they are different events happening, right? The customer is the starting and the end point, and notifying the main parts of the service getting handled, like the shipping has started and things like that. The order is processed. So these notifications. Okay, understood.
So, Sana, it acts like there is no kind of a breakage in the communication between all this between this flow, right? So it's act like kind of to connect the dots, basically, whatever the status
Correct.
of the order and all. So, all right.
Yeah, correct. So if something is getting introduced here, some, as I said, if any monitoring was needed, so all we need to do is configure that in Cloud PubSub. If I say I also want an additional monitoring happening, so there would be one more monitoring service over here, and then it would have a monitoring topic, and we would decide like who it's supposed to send the message to. I could say that send that message to notification center, or although send that message to the any seller, or send that message to anything which the business wants to enhance or add, things like that. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So here next we'll see the steps that are involved in creating the Cloud PubSub. Okay, so first step is create the Cloud Pub and subtopic and subscription. So if you could go to console.cloud.com. Could you please log in? And you guys can create a project or use a existing project. And from here, from the navigation menu, go to PubSub. And from PubSub, select topics. Okay, so from here you can say create topic. You guys can say order topic. I had created one, I would create order topic 2. Then just say create topic. Okay. So in this itself, are you guys done? Did you guys create a topic?
So now we can do it like if you don't have credit card attached. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Can you please repeat the steps? Sorry.
Yeah. So once you log into consolecloud.com, google.com, yeah, and then go to select an existing project or create a new project. Here I would show creating topic and subscribers, and but there is something more to it. I would also show how using a console how we would create the topics there. What I'm not very sure is about sending and receiving message. I couldn't explore that more, and I was little confused in like creating multiple terminals, which was part of it. So I will guide you as much as I have information for today, and then yeah, and if there is more to it, I'll either check with Margi or I'll explore and let you know. Okay. So for now, did you guys, yeah, any question?
No, your screen was not like visible to us.
Okay. Were you able to hear as I was
Yeah, I
talking?
was able to hear you, but your screen
Okay.
was not. Yeah.
Okay, so I have not
Yeah.
I was on this screen,
Mhm.
so I'll go back to this now. So did you guys select a project, choose an existing or create a new project? Okay, once done that, go to this navigation menu and look for PubSub. And select topics. Done. Did you select topics? From there, click on create topic. Okay, give any name and just say create topic. I have already created this topic, my topic 2. You guys done with that?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so next part is adding subscription to that topic. Okay, as I was showing, creating Cloud Pub and subtopic and subscriptions. Did I have that? Yeah, like this is the topic and associating subscribers to it. Okay, we are doing this. We did this part by creating a topic, and we are gonna do this part. You can give any name. Okay, so if I just choose, I had created this order topic. Okay, and click on go below and click on create subscription. Click on create subscription in that topic itself. What if I give monitor sub 1? Okay, keep the remaining settings as it is. The delivery type is full. That means that the subscriber would pull that message when it wants to. Then there are 7 days of retention duration. The expiry is 31 days. Okay, and every rest everything, keep it as it is, and just click on create. Okay, so if you check your topics, done. Have you guys done with it?
Done.
Expiry how
Okay.
many days you said, Sana?
Sorry,
Expiry
can you repeat?
Monday?
Expiry for subscription, you're saying?
Yeah, subscription. How much should I say?
Keep the settings as it is, whatever it is showing. Like, you know, minimum. I think I
31 days.
didn't check. What does it share? What does it is it showing to you?
31 days.
Yeah, yeah. I have kept it same, and expiry after this many days of inactivity up to 365 days. Yeah, we can keep it as it is. And since billing, I don't have any billing information in this. I'm not like I shouldn't be charged of anything, but you can still delete it later if you think something is gonna happen. But this is for the expiry subscription, like how when would the subscription expire? It is for that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So and you can keep rest of it as it is and then create. Here is if you click on the topics, you'll see the whatever you created. So I just updated this order topic, right? So here I had created package subscription 1 earlier. I had also created notification sub 1, and just now I created monitor subscription 1. Okay, so here you can see the excuse me. So here it will show you all the subscriptions that are created. So go back to the subscription that you created, like I created monitor sub 1. Okay, so you go to the same subscription and I think you have to edit. No, sorry, not here. So here, so this part is, we saw that creation of topics where the messages would be kept, and here we also created subscriptions, like the subscribers for that. Okay, this part is clear, right? In this, if you see my order topic 1 have, like my order details would be given to the packaging subscriber, and it would also be given to the notification subscriber, and I also created a monitor sub. And if you want to delete some part, you can just delete it from here. Okay, like these are the 3 subscribers for this topic. So any order details would be, these messages would be sent to this. So this acts as one to many, right? These are many subscribers and one publisher. Okay, so next go to any questions here?
Yes, Sana. So we can see here delivery type is pull. So that means the messenger what we will use here pops up. It will pull the messages from somewhere.
Like the subscriber, like the subscriber here, the packaging subscriber and the notification subscriber will manually pull the messages, like the messages will come to this part for them. If it is push, then it is the job of the Cloud PubSub to push the messages to them, right? If I'm like, if I when I receive messages, because it is getting pushed to me, I don't okay, now I'm clicking on pull, like I'm not saying that okay, I want to receive messages, I click on a button and then I receive hundreds of messages. That doesn't happen. The messages are just sent to me and I receive at the real time, right?
Yes, it's like we are receiving message, that is pull, and when we are sending message, it's push.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. So if they selected as push, that as soon as the message comes in the topic, it is supposed to get, like if there is a timing, in case there is some timer associated, like at 12 noon of this zone, it should be published to the subscriber, then the messages would be pushed at that event. Okay, when it is this particular time, it would be pushed to the subscribers. But if it is just push, then maybe there is a possibility that as soon as like the message is over here published, it needs to immediately go. In this case, the push would work better, right? Because as soon as the order is received, we want it to be notified immediately if the order wants to start its processing, correct? But in case there is any other reason where the packaging decides that there is a lot of load going on and we want to wait, we have enough service provide, even service, like even handlers. If we have enough handlers, then we will push, like pull it. If we have enough handlers, it can change it according to their need. If they have enough handlers, they are okay with push, so that the processing starts immediately, or they would wait for a handler to be available, then it would take the job and then start it processing things. Yeah, it's just, I think, based on the business, how the business is gonna work.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so here, where did you see that? Over here. Okay, so I think you'll find it in edit. Yeah, so when you edit a subscription, here you will see pull or push. Okay, so here we have created the topics and the subscribers. So next part is set up a service account and Cloud IAM. So go to Cloud IAM. This is IAM and admin, and go to service accounts. Okay. And then click on create service account. I had already created one service account. Just give a name.
Where we will find this IAM?
Yeah, from the
Menu.
navigation menu. Yeah, from there go to IAM and admin. In that, choose service account. Done. And just click on create service account and give a name. Just say create. And once you do create, then the second thing is that you have to add role over here, like where it says select a role. Look for pub/su publisher. If you just scroll down, just select this PubSub publisher. Also, we need to add two roles here, the same pub/sub subscriber. Okay, select these two roles, these two roles needs to be added to this service account. Okay, and then continue. Did you guys find it?
We have to go into service account and then create the service account, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And once you create that, the second step is you need to provide access to the project. Like, we need to say that the role is publisher and subscriber to this service account. Got it? and then click on continue and then done. Okay, so here is click on that service account that you just created and go down. Here you need to add key. This key is needed that you, if you say create new key, this is given to the subscriber so that it's an maybe I'm thinking it to be as an authentication part where the subscriber needs to have this key to receive the message. I'm expecting it to be that. So just say that create private key for this account and key type would be JSON and just create it. It would download a file for you. Okay, so this is for the subscriber to receive the message. Done.
Sana, sorry, I created the account, but on the second step, like grant this service account access to project. In that, do I have to select anything in it?
Yeah. Do you see that add role?
Yeah, select a role or add condition.
You selected both publisher and subscriber, right?
No, I didn't. I cannot see that actually. I have PubSub Lite.
Do you 1 minute? Do you see?
It's in a second option, right? Grant this service account access to project.
Yeah, so there you have to select two roles there. Pub/sub publisher and pub/sub subscriber. Two roles to it.
Yes, but I cannot see pub/subscriber.
You have scroll down and use this one, pub/sub publisher. Yeah, you have to scroll down right up till half of this at least, and then scroll down. Then you will see it. Or just type this entire thing.
It's not a PubSub Lite, it is PubSub.
If you hover over PubSub now, a second menu will come. And there is PubSub publisher and PubSub subscriber. Both are there.
Yeah, this part and this part. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah, so add these two roles and then done.
And then continue or then done?
Yeah.
What should I say?
Yeah, after that done, continue and then done, I guess.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, so click on the service that you just created. Yeah.
So now there's a third step, right? Grant users access to this service account. Is there anything to be filled there or nothing?
No. Yeah, nothing there.
Okay, thank you.
So select the service, just the service account that you just created. And then go like below, you'll see add key button and then drop down, click on create new key. And then save. Yeah, when you do create new key, it would there would be a pop-up. Select the JSON and then the next OK button, and then a file would get downloaded over there. This is needed by the subscribers. Okay. Done?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have done till here. So the third part is start publisher and subscriber apps, and I'm not pretty clear on sending a sample message. I couldn't explore that, and just I would show how it would work over here. Like click on this console. I have certain commands where I could, you would like understand some part. So click on this activate cloud console. You could just click on open in a new window or work there. Okay, so just make sure that you are at I'll send the command. You just need to, after this, with this command, just provide your project name. Like after this, gcloud config set project and give the project ID over here. The next, okay, over here. And then at this, if you go to that project ID, then put this command, see the topics that are there. Click on authorize. So here I see that which I saw in the console, the topics that were over here. From the PubSub. Here it's the same thing that you view. The topics that are over here, you'll able to get to know that over there. This is you can see the same thing in the console as well. If you want to see the subscription list, check that too. So these are the subscriptions that I had created. Okay. So here you will see the subscriptions. I have 4 subscriptions here, and here you will see 1, 2, 3, 4. It also shows that in what topic it is in, or it is also showing me the topics, I believe. So these are the topics. Order 1 topic, order topic 1, order topic 2, order topic. It also shows that which topic is there, like subscription is in which topic. Okay. So after this command, this is something I could just show that, where you would create a directory here. mkdir is like file exist. Okay, I already have this file created, so this would work for you all. Creating a directory. mkdir is a command to create directory with this name, PubSub demo. Okay, and then cd is the command for cd means change directory. So once you write this, it would change your directory to this folder. You would get inside this directory. Okay. So here I have got into this one. So here these are this I could see some samples. Okay. There are some files. So this is one way to clone or copy some files from the Git repository to your this directory. So just use this command. So I know till here like how you would get these. There are some files in this which would get downloaded in your console. Okay, in this directory. So this is one. These are the files which could be used for sending or receiving a message. So I couldn't explore this enough. I would ask Margi if she has understood this part or she can explain. But for now, we will just learn so far that this is the way we can clone some files from the Git repository. Okay, so next, moving on. Done till here, guys?
Yes, Sana.
Yeah. So next is these are some commands for like to create. I'll just paste it here for you guys to try out. Okay, so there's another way. This is one way to, if you could just create a topic. Okay, so these commands you can save it for yourself and try it later. Okay, it created a topic. I'll check if it was created here. Yeah, so it got created just now. This is the new topic. Okay, so similarly, I have given you commands where you could delete that topic or see the list of those topics. Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, there is more steps to this where you could send a sample and test it. There is something where you need to open some more terminals here and send a message from this publisher and it would be received to those subscribers. But I couldn't like explore that enough to give that demo. So that's all I have right now. Thank you. Yeah, that's it, Tim.
Thanks, Sana. That was really good. Please ensure that the two recordings are combined and uploaded. Because I think we had multiple split recordings for this. All right. So what are we doing? We have 25